If you are a Manchester United fan, you have to be excited right now. Because for the first time in a long time, and it's been a while since I made a Manchester United video, I used to rant a lot about this team. Because I've told you guys this many times. Eu sou benfiquista and I only care about Benfica. But when it comes to teams in certain countries, I've always liked certain teams from certain countries. When it comes to the Spanish league, I like watching Madrid, and I want Madrid to win. I don't get sad if they lose. I'm not a fan. I just prefer them in that league. In the Premier League, it's always been for me Manchester United or Liverpool. And in Italy, it's always been AC Milan. Those are just teams that I prefer to watch in those leagues. Doesn't mean I support them. Now, with all of that being said, I am in a place right now where I look at this Manchester United team and I'm excited for the future. Not because Ruben Amorim is Portuguese. I don't care about that. Ruben Amorim stepped in here and he has the board and the owners and everybody upstairs believing in whatever vision he has. And you'll say, why do you say that, Skills? Because they're signing what he's asking for and what he needs, right? This is not Manchester United signing Jadon Sancho because he was the best player in the Bundesliga. This is not Manchester United going after this player because he was this and this and this. There's no clout behind it. It's literally, hey, we need a midfielder / attacker that is creative behind the nine. Let's get Cunha. We need someone that's good on the 1v1 and also can score goals. Let's get a right winger. They did that, right? They're getting what they need, not what necessarily is the most sexy and the most beautiful, star-shocking deal, right? You're not looking at this and going, oh, wow, they're signing Wirtz, they're signing Isaac, they're signing Jude Bellingham, they're signing Marcelo, whatever. It's not superstar names, right? Like I threw Marcelo in there from 10 years ago. You have to, bro. You got to bring up the nostalgic feeling sometimes. It feels to me like the board sees a vision and Ruben Amorim has a vision. He's told them their vision. That's why he said he only wanted to come in the beginning of this year. He didn't want to come when he came. And he has a vision, and it seems to be that they are buying into it. And around that vision is success. Only preseason success, which is nothing, right? Premier League's about to happen. But winning in the Premier League starts with baby steps. Confidence is everything. And you got these players having confidence through the preseason. The most important thing, too, is that Bruno Fernandes had a serious market in Saudi Arabia. Bruno Fernandes had a serious market away from Manchester United. And that if Manchester United really wanted to move Bruno Fernandes, they could have moved Bruno Fernandes. But since the season ended, I remember it was probably a couple games before the season ended or whatever, or maybe right after the season ended, whatever it was. We had Ruben Amorim look down the camera and say, Bruno Fernandes is not leaving. Bruno Fernandes is very important to this team. He's staying. We saw it. And what did the board do? They said, okay, he wants Bruno Fernandes. He needs Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is not leaving, right? Very early on, he made a decision that Marcus Rashford was not his guy. What did the board do? This wasn't a thing of, oh, Marcus Rashford's our star board. Marcus Rashford's from our academy. Marcus Rashford is Manchester United. No, Ruben, you don't like him? We're going to move him. You don't like Jadon Sancho? We're going to move him. You don't like Garnacho? We're going to move him, right? This is, he's not going in there and creating problems with players as we saw with Ten Hag, where he started blaming players and you saw drama around the situation. Instead, you're seeing a manager that is keeping the drama not talked about to the public, moving the players that he feel the problem, and bringing in players with fresh ideas, but also players that come from teams that this is a real big step in their career. And that's important, y'all, because when Jadon Sancho left Dortmund and came to Manchester United, it's a big step, but realistically, he was at a Champions League team. He was at a team that competed for the Bundesliga. He was at a big team. When you go from Wolves, and no disrespect to Wolves in any way, shape, or form, but when you go from Wolves, a team that, you know, a great season for them is ending top 6, you know what I'm saying, or like top 7, top 6. When you go from a team like that to a team of Manchester United, of the history that they had, and you know, the team that used to be so great in the Champions League and what they stand for, and what they are, how much fans they have, it's a huge jump up for Cunha. It's a huge jump up for the right winger they signed. I don't want to mess his name up. Starts with M. You guys know I don't want to mess it up, man, because I'm going to say y'all gonna make Skills. You don't know how to say names. I know I don't. But it's a really big step up, right? It's a huge step up for these players. And I think this is very important to making a big team. Like when I think about what he did at Sporting, because I watched Sporting's evolution, right? Sporting was a team that was in a really bad place, y'all. And then Ruben took over and he started signing players like Balt, came from a small team in Portugal, right? He signed Balt. He signed Gyökeres from the second division in England, right? He signed Trincao, who was going through a phase of Barca got him from Braga. Not really. They threw him at Wolves. He was on loan. He was kind of João Felix, right? They got him. He wasn't really talked about, right? They picked him up. They started picking up pieces. Morita came from Santa Clara, another team in Portugal. And when you leave these teams, right, that are the small, not the smaller, but the mid-table teams in Portugal, like Wolves is, and you make a jump to Sporting, you come with a different type of hunger to you. You go, oh man, this is my big opportunity to showcase myself to the whole world, right? Because when you play at Wolves, you're showcasing yourself to the Premier League and everybody that watches the beautiful Premier League. But when you play for Manchester United, there's a lot of different eyes on you. There's the eyes from Asia. There's the eyes from America. There's eyes from everywhere because you're such a well-known club, right? So it's a huge opportunity for these players, and I think that these players are going to give everything they have for Ruben Amorim, and Ruben Amorim is doing it the smart way, right? Going for big-name players, he's not going to get that same type of energy as going for players that go, hey, we're giving these guys a shot. We're giving these guys a shot at the big times. And you have to hope that these players give so much that it gets Manchester United back to the big times. So I do see the vision. I see what Ruben's trying to do, and Cisco would be really the biggest piece to this man's puzzle. It truly would be. Now, y'all might disagree with me and be like, nah, Skills, I don't see it that way. But I truly believe it's building to something, right? To have, again, a player going from RB to Manchester United, huge switch for him. You know what I'm saying? Great player, a lot of upcoming talent in this kid. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's a better signing than Gyökeres. I think Gyökeres fits Arsenal better. I think that this guy will really fit Manchester United. And I got to say, I like the moves they've been making. But I do think what he's been attempting to do and what he's been attempting to build and how he's been going about it has to have United fans very, very excited going forward. Their latest game happened on Saturday where they beat West Ham 2-1. And Ruben stays true to what Ruben is. Ruben comes out in his 5-back. And in the 5-back, it's it's the Heaven dude who got hurt last year, and it's Euro. Really nice back three, to be honest with you. And then he went with, the Mano and Ugarte in the middle of the park with Bruno, Cunha, and Højlund at the top. And I've heard they're in the market big time for a goalkeeper. I've been hearing them linked nasty to Donnarumma. If they can actually make a move for Donnarumma, and if the news and the rumors are true that I'm seeing and they can get Donnarumma, that's a huge upgrade to Onana. If you actually go into the season with Donnarumma in goal and having Bruno Fernandes, Cunha, and Cisco at the top, I do think it's a way better season than last year. I think you definitely end above the top 10. And I think you start to make a push for those top 7, top 6 spots. Because it's a very, very Manchester United is not a horrendous team. They didn't have horrendous players. They didn't really have a good system, and they didn't have the certain pieces to finish the system. They didn't have a legit goal scorer, right? They didn't have playmakers outside of Bruno Fernandes. They didn't really have that. So I think that having Cunha, having these additions are massive for Manchester United. So I would love to get y'all's thoughts in the comments down below. It's simply just the fact that Manchester United board seems to be on board with what Ruben Amorim is doing and what he wants. He doesn't want a player there, they get rid of him. He wants a player to come in, they get him. And I think this is very, very important for a team to have that type of structure and foundation and to build from there. But I believe Fob did put out. Manchester United are again direct contacts with RB discussing details for 85 million bid. Newcastle want final answer ASAP from the club and player. United's pushing for this, man. This is their guy. This is who they want. If they can get him, lads, this is a freaking massive addition for Manchester United. I truly 1000% believe that. I truly believe it, lads. I believe it from the bottom of my heart. Will it happen? I'm not sure. But I'm telling you right now, if Manchester United can make this happen, it would be absolutely big, big news. There's not really much else happening. It first started 3 hours ago. Manchester United sent an official bid, now serious offer, following Newcastle's 90 million. The thing is, if Newcastle gives 90 million, Manchester United gives 85, which one do you take? And I guess it really comes down to where the player would agree to go at that point. But it is a package. It's a Manchester United submitted, so it's an 85 million package with add-ons included. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see what happens if he lands Newcastle, if he lands Manchester United. But I do think that Manchester United fans need to kind of get excited a little bit, man, for the board doing what Ruben wants. Hopefully Ruben's vision is the right vision, but they do seem to be going down Ruben's vision, which hopefully it's a good one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. First Manchester United video in a long time. It felt good to talk about them, bro. We haven't talked about them in a while.